Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to click subscribe if you want more daily updates on Microbe Mania, where we are going to study about interview questions and answers of microbiology in pharmaceutical industry.
Alright, class, today we're going to learn about ALCOA, a concept that plays a critical role in industries that require high standards for data integrity like pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and manufacturing. Before we get into ALCOA, let's quickly review the basics of ALCOA and ALCOA Plus to understand the foundation on which ALCOA Plus is built. 1. What is ALCOA? The original ALCOA principles stand for attributable. This means the data can be traced back to the individual who created or modified it. Every piece of data must have a clear link to the person responsible for it. This ensures accountability. Legible. The data must be readable clear enough for anyone to understand, both now and in the future. Contemporaneous. Data must be recorded at the time the event or observation occurs. No postdating or backdating. Original. The data should reflect the original or an exact copy of the original, without changes or alterations. Accurate. Data must be correct and precise. It should not contain any errors or misrepresentations. These principles laid the groundwork for ensuring data integrity, especially in industries where accurate, honest data is crucial. As you can imagine, the world is always evolving, and so is the need for stronger standards. This is where ALCOA comes in. It builds upon the ALCOA principles by adding more criteria to ensure completeness and consistency in data management. So, in addition to the original ALCOA principles, we now have complete. All data must be recorded. There should be no gaps or missing information. Consistent. Data should be consistently collected and formatted across time and systems. Enduring. Data needs to be stored properly and be accessible for as long as needed. Available. Data must be easily accessible for inspection or review by those who need it. By adding these extra principles, ALCOA Plus helps organizations maintain better records and meet regulatory standards more effectively. Now, let's talk about ALCOA Plus. So, what exactly is ALCOA Plus? It's the next step in the evolution of data integrity. ALCOA adds additional principles that further strengthen how we handle data in regulated industries. These new principles emphasize trust, transparency, and reproducibility. Truthful. What does this mean? Data must reflect the truth. It must be an honest and accurate representation of the events or observations. For example, if a clinical trial shows that a certain drug had a mild side effect, it's important to record that fact without exaggeration or omission. Why is this important? Because honest data is essential for safety, ethical decision-making, and maintaining trust, especially when lives or health are involved. B. Transparent. What is transparency in data? The processes surrounding data collection and handling should be clear and open. This means documenting not only the data itself, but also the methodology, how it was gathered, and how it was stored. Why is this necessary? Transparency ensures that everyone can see how the data was collected and what decisions were made along the way. If data handling is transparent, it's easier to spot errors or biases, and it also builds trust with stakeholders like regulators or the public. See Traceable. What does traceability mean? Data should be traceable back to its origin. This means you should be able to track any data point and see exactly where it came from, who recorded it, and if it's been modified. Why is this key? If any issues arise, being able to trace data allows you to investigate and verify the source or any changes. This is particularly critical in fields like pharmaceuticals, where accountability is crucial. D. Reproducible. What does reproducibility mean? If the data were to be used in another experiment, analysis, or by a different team, the same results should be obtained. Why is this important? Reproducibility is a cornerstone of scientific validity. If someone else can replicate your findings using the same data and methods, it strengthens the reliability of the data. It also helps build trust in your results. Why ALCOA matters? So, why have we added these new principles? Simply put, ALCOA raises the bar for data integrity and management. It doesn't just ensure that the data is accurate or complete, but it also makes sure that the entire process of handling data is transparent, traceable, and trustworthy. Let's summarize why ALCOA is so important. Enhanced data integrity, truthfulness, transparency, and reproducibility ensure the highest quality of data. This is particularly critical when life-saving decisions are made based on this data. Compliance assurance. ALCOA helps organizations stay compliant with regulatory standards, reducing the risk of violations. For instance, in clinical trials, if the data is traceable, reproducible, and transparent, it's easier to meet standards set by regulatory bodies like the FDA. Accountability. With traceability and transparency, everyone who handles data is accountable for their actions. This reduces the risk of errors or fraud, as every step of data handling is documented. Trust. The more transparent and truthful the data process is, the more likely stakeholders, whether regulators, researchers, or the public, will trust the data. This is especially critical in fields like healthcare and pharmaceuticals, where trust is vital for safety and effectiveness. In conclusion, ALCOA builds upon the ALCOA and ALCOA principles by focusing on truthfulness, transparency, traceability, and reproducibility. These principles help organizations ensure that their data is not just accurate and complete, but also trustworthy, verifiable, and repeatable. This is critical for industries where data is not only used to make decisions, but where it also directly impacts health, safety, and compliance with regulations. Remember, in regulated environments, data integrity is not just about meeting requirements, it's about ensuring that every decision made based on the data is backed by a system of trust and accountability. I hope that clears up the concept of ALCOA++. Let me know if you have any questions or need further clarification on any points. If you enjoy my content and want to stay updated on new uploads, please consider subscribing to my channel.